Howdy, everyone. Welcome in to the Grizzly Den here on the SDH Network. That's what we're calling it. It's a show going to be weekly, talking about everything Georgia Gwinnett soccer. I'm Madison Crews. Joined with me is head coach of the men's soccer program, Steve DeCou. Steve, how have you been?
Good. Preseason's done, so those double days are over, and now it's into the season starting, and so just looking forward to that and loving the opportunity to work with these guys.
Let's go ahead and talk about that matchup as well. You guys started the season, that actually was yesterday. You guys got the 2-0 win over Campbellsville. Talk about that matchup. What impressed you the most, especially your guys coming out strong and getting your first win of the season?
Well, we've got just 4 returning starters from last year's team, so a lot of new guys, a lot of transfers, so they're at least accustomed to college soccer, but to understand our system, our core values, our just the intricacies of the way we want things done, the way they've come together. Good first game. We still got a long way to go. We're going to look a lot better in a week, a month, 3 months down the road. But yeah, anytime you can go on the road and get a win, you'll take it.
With the roster, with how much turnover there is and only having 4 returners, having a lot of just new players coming into the squad, it's great that they're accustomed to the soccer game, but how difficult has it been to get them bought into the system you guys are trying to do? But also as well, how important was it to have the preseason and all those scrimmages as well to allow them to get acclimated before this match?
Yeah, that's the challenge with coaching is it's more the psychology, the psychological, getting them all on the same page, because they're all good, very good players. But as opposed to other sports like our baseball team, softball team, they get a whole semester to work on implementing culture, on getting their playing style in place. We have 17 days from the first time we met until yesterday. So, but you ask, how difficult is it? That starts in the recruiting process. Yeah. You kind of tell them who you are. This is what we're about. This is what we're going to do. And that's when they start to buy in. And that's when they start to understand things. And through the communication throughout the rest of the academic year into this summer, they have a bit of an understanding what's going on. So it's not the first time they hear it when they step foot on campus. Yeah. But, roles in the team, starter, sub, bench player, to get that all figured out, to understand what I can do to improve to help this team. That's kind of where we are right now still. I think we've got a good handle on who the top 16, 17 guys are, but, that always changes. And that's kind of where the team is right now. Get ourselves some areas we've got to improve on, but we just played game 1, so we can't expect perfection today.
It's just got to keep working, especially. But with that recruitment process, what are some of the things that you do to help sell players in on coming to Georgia Gwinnett? I mean, I know one thing for me, if I was an athlete, coming for the facilities would be number one for me, for sure.
Yeah. But you're going to, Maddie, you'll find great places that have great facilities and maybe the culture isn't good. You'll find places that have terrible facilities, but it's about the people.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the first thing we sell is the people and what makes this place great. It's not the buildings. It's not the field. It's the people in the locker room. It's the coaching staff. It's the support staff in the athletic office. It's the athletic director. It's the administration. Now, having said that, we sell location. For these guys who are coming from overseas, it's a direct flight to Atlanta. There you are. It's everything you want in Lawrenceville is within walking distance of campus. We're 30 to 45 minutes from downtown. So, you can go check out an Atlanta United game. My guys, a lot of them love the Hawks. And so they'll go down to catch a Hawks game. Some of them go and get they'll see a Falcons game. But what I say about Georgia Gwinnett is I think I've got one of the best non-Power 4 jobs in the country, based on facilities, based on the university, based on the people. Because the question is asked, why have you been there 14 years? Now, we've had unbelievable success in my time here, but the answer is, where am I going to go where it's any better? We've got one of the best jobs, one of the best programs to sell. And so that's what we sell.
I love that, because I think the one thing that's always stood out to me with Georgia Gwinnett is just I think just how close knit everyone is with everything. And I'm really looking forward to just being a part of it this season and getting the chance to call some of those matches, because it's always such a treat whenever I get to come up there as well. Because what you guys have done up there with not only your program, with the women's program, and just with everything y'all do at Georgia Gwinnett is unbelievable. And
It
this
is.
is also the calling card for anyone who hasn't come to a game. You got a lot of them this season. You got to come out to a couple of them, the women's side. It'll be fun.
True.
Let's talk about that matchup coming up as well against Brescia. That's going to be Saturday, tomorrow, actually, as well. The women will be kicking off their season tomorrow. You guys will be having your second game of the season. What are some things that stand out to you from Brescia, but also what are some things you want to see from your team to improve upon from the last matchup?
Their game last night against Dalton, I don't think they ended till like 11:30 because of a lightning delay.
Oh yeah,
So we didn't get to see much of it until this morning. They're a very organized team, new coach, a bit of a younger team, so they've got that fire, that passion. They try to play. What we're going to have to do is just be effective with the ball. We've got to keep it simple, keep the ball moving, and then get it to the big men. And when I say big men, our two starting number 9s are both 6'2", 6'3". They're monsters, and so we have an advantage over most teams with regards to that. So I want to see us be a little bit cleaner, getting into the final third and getting more chances created. We got the ball in there yesterday. I just thought we overplayed a little too much and didn't get the shots off like we wanted. But if we can come out of there again with a clean sheet, that's the most important thing. So clean sheet, score at least one goal, and I'll be a happy man.
Let's go back to talking about a lot of the players that you recruited, a lot of the new players here too. I want to switch it over to maybe the 4 returners as well. How important have they been, especially in helping establish the culture with some of the new guys, being those veteran faces that have been there already, and having them be such an integral part this season in helping getting everyone together?
Yeah, it's not 4 returners, it's 4 starters from last year. So there's about 12 guys, 12 to 13 guys, and then about 14, 15 new guys. But to your point, they understand culture, they understand what we're about, but with a new assistant this year. So new players, Steele McGinnis, my former assistant of 9 years, got the Coker University head coaching job. And so we brought in Tom Bentham from Dalton State. And we've kind of tried to tweak some things with what we do with more of an emphasis on, values and things like that. So they understand what they're getting into. And so for the new guys, even for them, it's been a bit of a change. And so it's been more about the coaches just making sure that we're very precise and deliberate about what we are emphasizing. So everything goes back to our 4 core values, which is love, excellence, respect, and responsibility. So pregame talks, training sessions, if things aren't right, are you living up to the standard? So the new guys are kind of, they obviously it's brand new to them, but even to some of the returners. And that's been the thing I've asked them. I'm like, what do you guys think? And they love it. They just feel there's the clarity, it's simplified. The old handbook that we used to give out, and all coaches do, it's probably that thick, and you didn't know what was important. And we've simplified it down to like 2 pages. So that's all they're thinking about. And then the football side of things, it's make it simple, get back to basics and work on that. And we're just trying to, you don't want them to think. You want the players just to react and to just go do what they're capable of. When you have to think is when you get in trouble. And I think that's kind of where we are a little bit right now with the 2 scrimmages we had last night's game. They're getting it, but they're still, once we can get them on autopilot and go, then that's when they're going to be the most deadly.
Yeah. It's something, listen, in playing rec soccer, it's something my friend will scream to me sometimes too when I'm playing up top. She'll be like, just don't think. It's like, just go. And that's exactly what it is. But with all of that too, I mean, like it brings up the idea of, I think something that I love talking about with the game is like the mentality side and how important it is to the match. A lot of people don't talk about it. They don't think it's like, oh, it's whatever, you're just kicking a ball. It's like, there's so much more that goes into it. When you do have those situations where you're trying to instill in them, hey, don't overthink it. Don't try to do too much. Just keep it simple. How has that been, trying to just like relay that to them and not allow them to overthink and get stressed out in those moments?
When I figure it out, I'm going to write a book and I'll make millions. It's just patience.
Yeah.
It's just patience with them, showing them on film what they've done right, what they've done wrong, showing it on the blackboard, X's and O's, so they can understand just another idea of what they're supposed to do. And then when they do it right, just praise them. Last night with some of the goals that were scored, the shots that were taken, you saw good things out of that. It's in training when you see something right, you're just, hey, that's exactly what we want. Well done. Like right now, the nines, if they could just quicker touch shot, that would be perfect. But it's there. I'm not going to coach them on that. They know what to do. They're just thinking they want to get that first goal. They're starting to put the pressure on themselves. I was like, come on, it's a long season, guys. I need you. It's going to come. So.
Yeah. Well, last one for you, Coach. And it's one just for viewers as well, who maybe aren't familiar with your style and the way that Georgia Gwinnett does play. What are some things you want people to take away from when they do watch you guys on the field? What would you say is the personality of this team? It's a loaded question. It's a loaded question.
No, we want to be. You're going to come out and you're going to see a very organized, disciplined defensive group. You're going to see teams that are going to cheer for winning the first and second ball, for the hustle play, for the getting stuck in and out of tackle. I mean, everybody knows when a goal is scored, that's when you cheer. So what you're going to hopefully see is just a team that embraces and enjoys winning the physical battles, but also a team that can play some pretty good football. A team that can get it down, move it around, play through the lines. We can attack and beat you in different ways. We can go right through your heart, through the middle. We can get balls out wide. We've got athletes who can whip in crosses. Yesterday, that's what it was. The first goal came from wingback, got the ball, beat his man around the corner, whips a cross in. Shortest guy in the field scores a header. Unbelievable. Second goal, great pressure. We counter-pressed, won the ball back. The striker attacks the near post, plays a little diagonal ball back, and one of the eights comes on and hits it first time goal. And so you're going to see a team that is organized, disciplined, feisty. I love having that streak about you. I don't mind getting stuck. I'm an old defender, so I'd rather kick people than score goals. That's what I love. And so hopefully that team has that bit of bite about them. But the fact that when you come out and we're on the ball, we can play. And that's what we've been known for as a ball-playing team. It's just one of the focuses this year has been to get us back to just stingy. It's how many clean sheets can we get? And that's what we've been preaching. And we got our first last night. So really happy with that. But, that's what you're going to see out of us.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for taking the time and joining us here on the Grizzly Den.
The Grizzly Den. Love it.
We love it. Up next on the Grizzly Den, I had the chance to catch up with head coach of the women's program for Georgia Gwinnett and head coach Mike Giuliano. So that's coming up next. We're getting ready for the upcoming 2025 season for you guys. And I want to ask too, how has preseason been for you guys getting ready?
Well, it's exciting and strange and wonderful all in the same way, because this is my first team here in my 9 years here where we have as many new players as we have returning players.
Wow.
And anytime that happens, you both have the thrill of possibility and the fear of team meltdown and breakdown. So far it's been very, very good. And we're trying some new things on the pitch, and so far it's gone well. But of course, we haven't played anyone outside of friendlies, and so we'll find out tomorrow night. And we'll see if we're ready.
Yeah, it's a quick turnaround for you guys. But let's talk about that new squad. For you, finding the balance within bringing in some of those new guys and then bringing in some of the old returners, how has it been like bringing all them together, not only on the pitch, but also letting them get to know each other off of it as well?
Yeah, we're like most coaches, we're big into culture and trying to find ways to have fun. That we start every training session with the player joke of the day. I never want them to criticize me for my bad dad jokes, because their jokes of the day are twice as bad as mine are. But anyway, so I think team culture's gone as well as I could have possibly dreamed. And I think at this point going into the season, I would say that we know we're deeper than ever. This is by far the deepest team I've ever had. If you were to watch tomorrow night, I think you'll see us play more players than we ever have before. And that's a good problem to have when your whole DNA is to be high pressure, full court press, to use a basketball term, in terms of how we play the game. It's very valuable to have that many players you can trust. We have 3 Division I transfers in. We have 2 players that start for their country's national teams that have joined us. So I think for sure we're better offensively. We're deeper. Defensively, we lost what I think is the best center back in the country. She's now playing in that whole crazy Division I. You can have a 6-year of eligibility if you come from NAI. She's now playing for Florida International right now. And we also lost, I think, the best goalkeeper in the country. So defensively, we'll see. But offensively, so we're perfect. We're a perfect kind of team for an American audience. All our games might be 8-7. I mean, that's what Americans want anyway. So hopefully we'll see how that goes.
It's interesting as well. I think you look back at last season, and for you as a coach, what are some of the biggest things that you want to see continue from last season, but then something you maybe want to see improve from last season too?
Sure. I think improvement is probably easier. Coaches sit around thinking, how do we get better? And I think dealing with the inevitable negative moments, you give up a late goal and you didn't expect to, and suddenly you're down by a goal late. We did make some comebacks last year, but I felt like I wanted to see more of a fight there. And then tactically and technically, or more tactically, I guess, we are going to die on the hill of being a better small ball possession team. And it's never been a major emphasis of mine. I'm not interested in just kicking it and running, but I am interested in having a more athletic team. And if that means that we got to go over the top, we go over the top. But we have decided that we just don't possess the ball as much as we need to. And so we are working very hard. And in the friendlies, it looked spectacular until the last one, which we still won the game and we didn't give up any goals, but it wasn't quite, when you play a better and better team, then you find out where your new plans are exposed. So I really want to see us possess better. I want to see us keep the ball longer. And I want to see us fight through the mentally adverse times that every team has.
As a head coach, how hard is it to kind of get your girls rally behind that idea? Because it can be really difficult, like in a matchup when you are down and trying to fight back into the match and get things back going as well. How hard is it for you to kind of delegate that with the girls? But then also, is there anyone else that has come forward within the group to help lift everybody up as well?
I think so. But again, we're 0-0. We haven't lost a game this year. And so who knows, we have an interesting first game against a team that we tend to do really well against. Last year was 9-0 at our place, but at their place, it's always really hard. And they have, it's a campus that's just gone through an unbelievable adversity because they were in the floods. And so they have, I had someone tell me that, right now that's such a rallying point for them and things like that. But then after that game, however that game goes, we turn around and we play a team that we just don't match up with. We never do. And then after that, we got a little team called the defending national champions in our third game. So we've got to figure this out quickly. And we've got to find out if we have that player, Madison. We got to see if we have that player who can say, it's fine, ladies, it's fine. Yeah, we're down by a goal, but there's 20 minutes left. There's 15 minutes left. Let's see what happens. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll find out starting tomorrow.
Is there a player that has, I don't want to say surprised, but is there a player in the preseason or even coming in for spring training and everything that's really stood out to you on the roster?
Yeah, I could name a bunch, but let me just name one. You tend to, I had one of my former players that lives in Vancouver, British Columbia, and she called. She said, Coach Mike, she said, I have this player on my club team, and we were playing a team the other day of all D1 signees. And everybody on the pitch was D1 signees. And he says, and she's not. She hasn't got much attention, D1. And I think she's as better than all of them. And I thought, okay, well, I haven't stayed in touch with you as much as I like, but, I've always trusted you. And so we watched. We thought, okay, I don't see she's better than all the D1, but you know what? I know she's better than all the D1 certainly signees out there, but Hannah Lorenz from Vancouver has been a revelation. She's a freshman, probably for one game. I mean, we're just so loaded at midfield. She may not get in the first 11 tomorrow, but like I said, we'll play 20 players tomorrow, win, lose, or draw, just because it's our superpower. As Madison, as you've been around sports, every team has that one thing they're really good at. Well, it looks like this year's team is going to be that we just have. And I'll give you an example. We play, we have different short-sided games and things like that, or even 11v11, which we occasionally do. I think the second team has won those games 80% of the time so far. Last game, when we broke down the game, the second team outplayed the first team. And so she'll definitely play. But I'd say Hannah has been just, my goodness. I mean, she's just incredible.
With all of the depth that you have, How hard is it for you as a head coach to come up with the starting 11 with how much depth you have and how much tools you have in your toolbox?
Well, at two positions, at the attacking mid, the 8 and 10s, and at the outside back position, which in a 4-3-3 is a critically important position. I basically had to go to 3 players because there's 2 of those, right? There's an 8 and a 10. There's a 7. There's a not 7-11, 2 and 5, whatever it is. Anyway, I had to go to 3 players and go, look, I have 3 starting outside backs, but only 2 of you are going to start. So you need to take one for the team. And if you're not in that first, know that you're going to play. There's no scenario, but unless the first 2 are just really what Hannah did in the first friendly. I had her scheduled for 15 minutes and I got to the 15-minute mark. I said, I'm not taking her out. I want to see more of this. But for the most part, it's getting them to buy into the fact that if we do our thing, if Madison, if you're flying the wall and came to our locker room, you would think, okay, what are you, a California team? What's going on? Because there's beach images everywhere. Because we've all agreed that if we don't finish at the final site, we've made the national tournament every year I've been here, but we haven't always made the national final site. And if we don't make the final site in Pensacola, Florida, it will not be the season we plan for it to be. So if you walked in, you'd see pictures, you'd see posters of things. They each got seashells in their locker areas. We have one goal, and that's to get to Pensacola. And then once you get there, anything, as Savannah College of Arts and Design showed last year, anything can happen once you're at the final site.
So what I'm hearing is when we're in the booth and we're there calling games, we got to make sure we have seashells and everything all over.
Absolutely.
The place.
Absolutely. You got to give a lot of ocean metaphors. That will resonate with us. And again, you don't need to win every game to have a good experience. But the fact is that, I told them, I said, in my second year here, we made the final site, and we thought we'd never not be at the final site after that. But then COVID hit, some financial adversity hit, all sorts of things, and we've still been very strong. We've won every conference championship since then, except for one we lost in PKs. But that's just not good enough here, and it's not good enough just to make the national tournament. What a night! We got a bye in the first round last year. We got the second round. We got SCAD, who ended up winning the national championship. 20 minutes left. It's a 2-1 game, SCAD, and we get a PK taken by a player who had never missed a penalty kick until then. And then that was such an emotionally difficult moment that we pushed everybody ahead, and then they scored a couple late. But that just shows you how close we were. We took the team that would win the national championship 2 weeks later. We took them right to the wire. And so we're not far away, and we certainly have the offense. Are my people now that are the starting, defenders, is my new goalkeepers, are they ready to be at the level we need to be a top 5 team? That's going to be the question mark. And I believe they are. I believe we've had some people come and step up, but we'll see. We'll see tomorrow.
I want to ask as well, for many people who maybe don't know much about your program and what you do over there at Georgia Gwinnett, how would you describe the way that you want this team to play and the personality of this team?
Well, okay. So if you got me on the air and you said, okay, Mike, you got 10 seconds, tell us your style of play. I would go, okay, 10 seconds, huh? Minimum touches, maximum movement, monstrous pressure. There, I'm done. So now we can move on to the next question. And really, while I've sort of revived one of them a little bit, but, or sort of revised one of them a little bit, monstrous pressure is at the core of what we want to be. We want to be a team that when Pep Guardiola was at Barcelona, not that we're Barcelona level, but when he was there, he had a thing called the Barca 7, where when they lost the ball, they had 7 seconds to get the ball back. And so you may hear us occasionally on the sideline going 7, 6. Actually, we're not Barcelona, so we give them 8 seconds. 8, 7, 6, 5. So we want to be a high pressure team. But this year, we also want to possess out of the back more. I just think, I think we're not a kickball team. Nobody who plays us would say that we're a kickball team, but I think that we are a team that wants to get the ball up so fast that sometimes we just lose it too quickly. And so we have worked and I basically told the team, I said, hey, if it doesn't go well, I'm going to die in this hill. We are going to be, a small ball possession team from the back, 70% more than we were last year. And I just believe we need the ball more. And so that's who I know will be high pressure. I hopefully will be a better small ball team out of the back. And I will say this, very excited about this. We have a fitness requirement like most college teams do. By far, Madison, the most fit team I've ever had. We have 13 new players, and 13 out of 13 passed it. The healthy ones passed it. I think there was one unhealthy player. And so certainly we're physically capable of playing my brand of soccer. We'll see now, how it plays out as we play real opponent tomorrow.
Well, let's get into that matchup as well. You guys are on the road going to Montreat as well to face them at 5:30 p.m. I know you can't give away too much, but what's the early scouting report for you guys heading into?
Well, that's really a hard question. They had 2 friendlies scheduled.
Yeah.
One was canceled, and the other one was at their place, and nobody's talking. And it was probably one of those, you don't tell anyone about us, we won't tell anyone about you, because the other school hasn't contacted me back. So I literally don't know anything. And Madison, when you've gone through what they have gone through with, the flood and loss of life, even at the school, who knows? They might be twice as good or half as good as last year. I don't know.
Yeah.
And so I will tell my team the same speech when I'm in the situation. We scout everybody. But when we don't have a chance to scout, I will tell them, I want you to act like there's a timeout 5 minutes into the game. And I want you to tell me the following: who's the most dangerous player in the pitch for them? And why is she dangerous? Is she just faster than everybody else? Is she a ball wizard? She can just out dribble anyone? Is she physically a beast? I mean, what is it about her? And then secondly, formationally, how do they play it? And do they keep 3 in the back? And I'll say, I need you to know that 5 minutes into the game, because I can't tell you this time because we don't know.
Yeah.
Part of me, if I'm honest with you, part of me likes that a little bit, because it basically says this game isn't about what they have. It's about what we have. And so we're not going to adjust to them because we don't know what to adjust to. So we're going to play our game. They're going to play their game, and we're going to see how it goes. I mean, last time we played there, they were winning with 21 minutes left, and we ended up scoring too late and beat them 2-1. Historically, they've been a team that we can have quite a bit of success, and other schools I've seen have quite a bit of success on the road against them. But up there in the mountains of North Carolina, crazy things happen. I don't know, maybe there's a moonshine up there. I don't know what it is, but crazy things happen. And so we'll see how it goes.
Well, I'm looking forward to watching it, Coach. And even too, getting for the home opener next week on Tuesday. Excited to be on the call for that when you guys face Truett McConnell. It's going to be a ton of fun. And Coach, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you, Madison. Glad to be here.